In a world where women's sports is being transformed, the Daily Wire calls foul with the most triggering comedy of the year.
A guy can become a girl with no physical changes at all.
Oh, that's called gender fluid.
So I can be a woman on the court and a man in the bedroom. I can't believe it. Nice!
One can even be trans age now, which provides Sheelix with a wonderful opportunity to relive all the experiences that she missed out on in school.
All right, here we go. Lady Ballers debuted last night, a Daily Wire production. I had the opportunity to watch this with my boys, so we're going to do a reaction here. I'm going to start with the boys and get their take on it, and then I'll weigh in with a few thoughts. But ultimately, you can make up your own mind. Drop some comments or thoughts in the chat. Would love to hear what you have to say, but let's get right into it. Okay, so last night we watched the premiere of Lady Ballers on the Daily Wire, and we're going to do a little reaction to the movie here. But let's start with this. Boys, what did you think of the movie?
I think it was a pretty funny movie. It was really funny how it was basically a one-to-one like copy of the actual world.
Yeah, it was just a really good. It was a really good movie for what's happening in the real world. And
we watch other comedies. How would you rate this against other comedies? Let's give it a scale of 1 to 10. What do you think?
For comedy, I feel like maybe a 7 or 8.
Oh,
yeah,
that's a good score.
7 or 8.
Definitely, yeah, 8.
Yeah.
Wow,
It's pretty funny.
That's a good score. Okay, another question that I have is, as a 10 and 12-year-old kid, do you think this movie is appropriate for kids to watch?
Well, the thing is, if I think like we're like, we're more mature, but like if people are like, very sensitive and like nowadays, a lot of people are like that, then they're gonna be like, this is like this is so blah, and like all of that. But, like,
there you have it from the boys. Here's my humble take on the movie. Was it funny? Yes. Did it make fun of men participating in and dominating women's sports? Yes. Is that worthy of mocking? Yes. Because it's just so ridiculous. Sometimes you can use comedy to mock ridiculous things happening in the real world, and it can be pretty effective. Now, I will say that I didn't find the film took it too far beyond that in terms of ridiculing or mocking, the trans community as a whole or anything like that. All right, so what is the quality of this movie like? I would give it a pretty good grade. I thought it was pretty good. It reminds me a lot of throwback to when we had good comedy movies in the late 90s, early 2000s. So I would compare it very closely with movies like Zoolander, Dodgeball, any Adam Sandler film, those types of movies. If you like those movies, you would like this movie. Now, another thing that's interesting is a lot of the actors in the movie are Daily Wire employees. And part of that's because they can't get Hollywood to be acting in these types of movies. So I give them a lot of credit. I thought they did a pretty good job on the acting. It wasn't, it's not Oscar-worthy stuff. But ultimately, in a mockumentary of this type, I don't know that that's really what you need. The point comes across. And in some ways, if you follow some of these Daily Wire contributors, you're going to see them in the movie, and that almost brings in its own sort of sense of humor to the movie because you know what these people are like in their sort of daily life. So would I recommend seeing it? Yes. What would I give it on a scale of 1 to 10? Probably a 7, but you get some good laughs, and it's worth seeing. And like I said, if you like some of those types of comedies, then you will like this movie. All right, so is it something that you should watch with your kids? Well, ultimately, I think that decision is best with the parents. Now, as you can see, I watched it with my children. mainly because I believe they are mature enough to handle this. I looked at the trailer and the previews and showed them the trailer and previews, and they got excited. They wanted to see it, and they are familiar with some of these social challenges that we're dealing with. And I thought it was a great opportunity to not only show them that, get a few laughs, but then have a discussion about it afterwards. So where can you see this? You need to be a Daily Wire Plus member to see it on their app or their website. Alternatively, I suspect they might put out some promotions. Previously, with other films, they've put them out on Twitter for broader audiences to see on a limited time basis. So check that out. You can follow Daily Wire on Twitter or other social media platforms, and I suspect they might be doing some promotions. Alternatively, if you are a Daily Wire member or you know somebody who is a Daily Wire member, check it out there. What do you think? Drop some comments in the chat. Let's have some dialogue about it. I'm really curious to see how people digest this movie and where it goes.